another episode of Denver Skate Musuem. Today we've got Scotty here with me, and we're going to be doing an episode on signed boards. Got a couple signed boards here. We're going to go over and check some stuff out. We talked about it in the last episode, so let's get to it. Signed boards. Signed boards are rad. It gives people this sense that the pro that the graphic is for actually held that board, actually touched that board. It brings you closer to that pro. It gives you this feeling like I'm holding something that they held once and they've put their signature on. So a lot of people, I don't think that sign boards really increase the value of boards all that much. Some people think that they do. I haven't seen that to be super true, but I think that it really increases the sentimental value, especially if you're the one who got it signed. A ton of these boards here that I've got that are signed, I never actually got signed. I've just picked these up through collecting over the years, but some of them I did get signed, and all the things that I've gotten signed mean a ton more to me. I'm always super stoked to get something signed. It means that I remember meeting that pro, getting to hang out with that pro. And there's usually a story behind it if you meet them. They're not always good. Sometimes you're like, man, I met that pro and they were a total jerk. But sometimes, I got to meet Daewon Song. He signed a ton of stuff for me, was the nicest dude, talked to me for a long time. Super rad dude. Let's get into some boards and see what we end up with. Up first, we got Jason Jesse signed Santa Cruz board. I think they call this one, I'm not sure, maybe this is the Neptune graphic. Don't quote me on that. Pretty cool board, pretty cool graphic, one of the classic ones. Love a good top graphic. If you follow me, you know that I'm always into a good top graphic. Jason Jesse. Not too shabby. I got this through collecting, so I never met Jason Jesse. Didn't get the story behind this one. This is one of the boards that I got from this collector, Brian, who's super sick. He has just given me a ton of great deals on boards, shared lots of amazing boards with me. A lot of these ones that I'm going to show you are from him. I'll try to call him out on each one of those. He's a super rad dude. When he found out about the museum and what we're trying to do, sharing all this history with the kids, he just jumped on board and started hooking me up with boards. His knee and his leg are all messed up, and they call him the train because he skates curbs, and he just charges at these curbs, and he can't even feel his leg. And so he's just rolling the dice every time, just rolling the dice, seeing what's going to happen, going faster than anybody I know. It's the sickest thing when he either slams or just lands the sickest, gnarliest, longest slappies. It's rad. Brian's the shit, dude. Eric Winkowski, 8-baller. Sick graphic. Love the graphic. Don't love that the signature got super smeared. That's not super tight. But Winkowski is rad. He's always killing it. Another one from Brian. Pretty rad top graphic. Interesting. Most top graphics are right here. They did this one up here. I think that's pretty rad. Santa Cruz does cool stuff. So, Eric Winkowski. Up next, a legend. Tony Alva, the dagger tail. You can see this tail doesn't look like a dagger to me, but that's what they called it. So that's kind of dumb, but whatever. I don't know a ton about Tony Alva, but he's a classic dude, super sick pool skater. I can't believe that he still skates. He's been skating for longer than most skaters have been alive, which is pretty crazy. But I like the dagger graphic. Pretty sick board. I guess this was a limited edition, 68 of 200. Kind of sick board, Tony Alva. Okay, here we go. This board Now this board I didn't get signed, but I got it from some kid that it was on Marketplace. He lived super close to me. Now what's interesting about this board, it's hand painted with this like radioactive symbol or biohazard symbol or something. But he didn't know who had signed it. He had just gotten this board and like didn't even know who signed this board. He shows it to me and I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, there's Tony Alva's signature. There's Christian Hossoy's. And this is Steve Cabs. Yeah, Caballero. And luckily Caballero put the year on there because I always like to be able to date these. And so this one was from 2009. Just a shitty board. I mean, this thing's got to be like some kind of Kmart board or something that's been hand painted. And then signed from clearly some kind of sick demo. But super funny, interesting board, I think. Hand painted. He sold it to me for like $30. He had no idea what was going on. Okay. We got ourselves a pharmacy board. This one is pretty tight. What do we got here? We got Eric Ellington. We got Furby. No idea what that is. I've always hoped that it's TK for Terry Kennedy, but I don't even know if he skated for Pharmacy. So whatever this scribble is, I don't really know. Kevin Romar, best nollie back 180s in the game. Jim Greco, crazy dude. Pharmacy. Funny story. There was an online contest that this dude put out where he put a bunch of stickers on one of those Skate Mafia little mini boards. And he had overlapped a sticker over the Pharmacy. And the contest was to name every single sticker. And the only reason that I won the contest was because I had this board and knew this Pharmacy logo super good. And saw it underneath another sticker, just barely peeking out. And I was like, that's a Pharmacy sticker. It was his whole thing, is that he was like, nobody's going to get that sticker underneath there. But I had this board. Got it. Okay, what do we got next? Todd Francis. Todd Francis originally drew this logo. Sick anti-hero classic logo. Todd Francis is amazing artist, super hilarious, does a lot of funny stuff. This one is not a super rad signature just because it's super dark on dark. Hard to really see it, but classic board. Nice little top graphic, same thing. Not too creative, but nice that it's there. Anti-hero. Got this from Brian as well. One of my favorite logos. Such a good logo. Okay. Up next. The Kid. Jason Adams, the Kid. This one is super rad. Black Label. Vulture Curb Club. Signed Jason Adams board. Rad graphic. Love the cigarette. Super funny. But the best part about this board is Jason Adams actually did the grip job. And that was part of their whole thing, is that he would do the grip job on these boards. And so you'd get the board already gripped. Super sick grip job, I think. Dude is killing it. Got stickers on there, some spray paint, some stencils, a bunch of different kinds of grip. Cool. I mean, this probably took him a little while to do. It's certainly not just a slap and go grip job. So, slappy hour. Killer board. Killer board. Okay. Up next. Legendary skater. Mike Vallely. Street Plant board. The Elephant. This is a reissue of his Elephant board. Super classic graphic. He was big into animals and just big animal lover. I think he's like vegan or vegetarian or something. But big old Street Plant Vallely. Signed up top. Now this one's kind of cool. This is 1 of 100. It's always rad to get the first in a series Always stokes me out. Mike Vallely with his little lightning bolt. Another one from Brian. Super sick board. Street Plant reissue. This one says 2015, so gosh, 10 years ago this one. It's a good one. This one, I assume, and I could be wrong, but I assume this is from one of the Vans pool parties because it's got a ton of Vans sticker graphics. These aren't actually stickers, it's just graphics, but the bunch of spots for people to sign. So we've got Tony Alva. We missed Ray Barbie, which I'm really bummed about because Barbie is one of the sickest skaters of all time. We've got Christian Hosoi. We've got Steve Caballero. We got Steve Van Doren. Is that his name? Steve? Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Van Doren.
Steve Van Doren. You can tell I'm super big into Vans. And then off to the side, we've got Omar Hassan, which is super sick. He's another one of these dudes that's like still tearing it up in 2025. Dude's been skating for, again, longer than a lot of dudes have been alive. And dude still rips. He is not slowed down even a little bit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see. No top graphic. Thanks, Vans. But pretty cool board, I guess. All right. The legend himself. Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk signs a lot of stuff, so I don't think this is really all that rare, but little Tony Hawk birdhouse. Tony Hawk signed. Love the silver pen with the silver graphic. Matched it up. My dude right there. No top graphic. Thanks, Tony. Tony Hawk signed birdhouse. Boom. I really love a good top graphic, man. I don't know why boards don't come with all, just like all boards should come with top graphics. Okay. One of the most legendary skaters of all time. Along with one of my favorite skateboarders of all time. So this is a crooked Dandra Hobel board, but this one was signed by Mark Gonzalez. This one is crazy. This one is rad. I know that it's a Dandra Hobel signed, like a Dandra Hobel board signed by Mark Gonzalez, but the artwork is Mark Gonzalez's artwork. So it's Gon's art signed by Gon's. That's pretty cool. I wish it was a Gon's art, Gon's board signed by Gon's. Triple threat, but you know, take what you can get. This one also came from Brian. Amazing board. Amazing one. Gonzalez, pretty cool signature, I think. He's got a kind of goofy style signature, but love it. Love it. Okay, we're getting to some really good ones here. These are some of my favorite boards that I have signed. Another legend, Ed Templeton signed Toy Machine board. Now, this one's rad because not only did Ed sign this, but he drew some Toy Machine graphics. He drew the monster. He drew Turtle Boy. Does it get any better than little doodles by Ed on a board? I'm not sure. It's pretty amazing. This one might be in the top 3 for me. I think that this one is probably number 3 spot on my signed boards. Get a close up on those graphics, dude. So sick. Oof. Templeton. Here we go. Number 2 on my list. This one is my second favorite sign board. As the legend goes, there was the Tent City tour. And right before the tour, all the dudes that were going on tour were in the Anti-Hero warehouse. And somehow this board got brought out, passed around some signatures happened. And so we've got JLP. This is the only one that I don't know who is. Been trying to find this out. If anybody has any ideas on who this is, hit me up. Then we've got, what is this? Tony Trujillo. Super sick. John Cardiel. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Shorty PDX. This dude, Shorty, that's his nickname. He was some dude that was on the tour. That one I didn't know for a long time, but somebody got back to me and was like, yeah, Shorty was just some dude that like made it on that tour with them. Gerwer, who's super sick. Love Gerwer. And Julian Stranger, who notoriously signs nothing. The fact that I have a Julian Stranger signed board is crazy. Nobody has these. This one is super rare. I've never seen his signature anywhere else. I've never seen. It's crazy. This one, top 2 board right here. Plus, look at this anti-hero graphic. So sick. Such rad lettering. And, boom! Super sick top graphic. Smash can. Love it. Love a good top graphic. Let's get into this one. This is a good one. So, this is the Girl 303 collab with the Coors Banquet. Super sick board. So, my buddy Kaya hit me up one day. He works at a restaurant downtown. He hit me up and he was like, yo, a bunch of the girl team is here in the restaurant right now. And like the total stalker that I am, I immediately ran home, grabbed a bunch of girl gear, and came over to his restaurant and literally sat outside and waited for them to finish eating like a total stalker. And as soon as they came out of the restaurant, they were all outside, kind of chilling. I think somebody else was still inside paying the bill. So they were just sort of milling about. And I just, real cool guy walked over and was like, oh my gosh, look at that. It's Mike Carroll. You're Mike Carroll, aren't you? Look at that. Wouldn't you know? My name's Squeeks. Yeah, man, I skate. That's so cool that I just accidentally ran into Mike Carroll. What a coincidence. And dude, they were all super cool with me. Started talking to me, and I was like, man, this is crazy. I know we just met, but like, maybe you could sign a couple things for me. Brought them across the street to my truck. Had a truck full of girl gear. You know that with the museum, I got girl gear, so I had a bunch of stuff. And so, brought out this board. This one was sick. It was rad. A bunch of dudes signed it. So, we got Rick McCrank, Sean Malto. This was in 2021 as well. Tyler Pacheco, Mike Carroll, and Rick Howard. Rick Howard drew a little girl logo, which is pretty sick. I love it when they draw little doodles on there. At one point, Rick Howard was at the truck, and Rick McCrank was across the street, still outside the restaurant. And Rick Howard yelled across the street. He says, yo, Rick, come over here. I want you to meet this guy, Squeeks. And he called me out by name. It was like a dream come true. Dream come true. These guys were super sick. So, this is the 2012 girl team signed board. Love it. Love it. Classic. Up next, we've got, did I say 2012? 2021. This is the 2012 girl signed team. So, Mike Carroll's Pro Model board for girl. Got this off of another collector. This is the 2012 girl team. So we got Corey Kennedy, Vincent Alvarez, Sean Malto, somebody, I don't actually know, Jerome Wilson, Rick Howard, and Mike Carroll. Both Mike Carroll and Rick Howard, little girl doodles. Again, Love me a good doodle. Super sick board. This was the Art Dump series. Who did the art for this one? This one is Herschel Bartrovsky. No idea, but clearly a sick artist, killing the game. So yeah, 2012 girl team signed board. Keeping in line with the girl team, I think that this is my number one. I don't think. This is my number one favorite signed board.
Hold on one sec.
Okay. Number one favorite signed board right here. Rick Howard, Pro Model from 1995. Right here, we've got the Girl Chocolate 1995 team signed board. Let's get into it. We got Tony Ferguson, 95. Javante Turner, Girl Tour 95. Mike York, Chocolate, Girl, 95. I don't know, what does that say?
Sparky?
Sparky? I'm not sure. Upside Down, Sean Sheffy, 95. Ben Sanchez, Chocolate. Eric Costin was here, spelled with a Z, because Costin's funny like that. Shamil Randall, Chocolate. Rick Howard, Girl Tour 95. Jerome Wilson, 95 Girl. I like that these guys are all time stamping this. 95's got to be on here 10 times. Guy Mariano. What? You kidding me? Let's see. Mike Carroll, 95 Girl. And then Gabriel Rodriguez, rest in peace, LA, Chocolate, 95. And then we've got Mike B. I don't know who Mike B is. Again, if anybody knows who Mike B is, that'd be cool to know. But the Girl Chocolate Team 1995 signed board. This one is number one in my book. Boom. Best board. All right, up next, we've got Todd Bratrud and Sean Cliver, Strangelove board. This is the classic Kim Jong-un, I don't know, one of the Kim Jongs. And old Mr. Trump over here, French kissing and grabbing some fucking dick right there. Sorry for cussing. And I got to go to an art show that Bratrud was at and had him sign this. He asked me what I wanted on there, and I said, you just do whatever you want to do on this one. And he was so stoked. Grabbed it and drew some funny glasses and a mustache and a little X like he's a punk rock dude. And then signed his butt. Dude, Bratrud is sick. This board is rad. If it's not love, then it's the bomb that will bring us together. But yeah, sick Bratrud board. Somewhat of a top graphics, really just a logo, but better than nothing. All right, let's get into some magazines and some photos. Up first, we got Tony Hawk. This is a sick Grant Britton shot. I love this one because you can see Grant Britton right there, his shadow, and he's on a ladder. It's hard to tell but from this photo, but I've read about this photo, and he's on a ladder reaching up that high. That's how high up Tony Hawk is right now. It doesn't look like he's 10 feet out, but I bet he's 10 feet out on this one. Going nuts. Crossbone or whatever that trick is called. I don't really know vert stuff. But killer one. Killer one. Next up, we got Christian Hosoi, Tony Hawk. This is the first photo that they got together, which is pretty interesting. Because it's so late in their careers. But apparently this was the first time they took a photo together. Big old air and a tail slide. Going crazy. Alley-oop action. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. Okay, let's get into some magazines. Here we go. We got Daewon Song 1998 Trans World cover. Signed by him at the Adidas demo last year. Kickflip nose blunt. Super sick. Daewon was the nicest dude. Talked to me a bunch. Signed way more stuff than I should have had him sign. And was just the nicest dude. Love Daewon. Another Daewon. This is March 2004. Pivot Fakie, it looks like. Looks like Pivot Fakie. Another Daewon. Daewon versus Daewon. Daewon's the shit, dude. Cater. Frontside flip, probably.
Yeah.
Cater. He was chill, I guess. I don't know.
You just got in all hot.
Alright, Salas Baxter Neal. Oh, sick one, sick one. Gator of the year. Woo! Signing his cover.
Dude.
Tyshawn Jones. Another skater of the year. I think there was like 5 skater of the years at that demo. It was wild. It was super wild. Tyshawn signed cover. Another version of that same cover, because for some reason I have 2 of this magazine. And he signed both of them because he's a super nice dude. Miles Silvas. Just phenomenal skater. He was doing everything so quick, so easy at that demo. Switchback lip the big 6 like it was nothing. It was wild. Another Miles. Had a couple covers of him. He was super nice, signed both the things. He was like in the middle of crushing it too and was like, oh yeah, dude, I'll sign those. Super nice dude. And Nora Vasconcelos, or however you say her name. Super duper sick. I heard rumor that this was the first girl that they put on the cover of Thrasher, but that seems crazy to me because this is so late in Thrasher's career, sort of. So I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, it's super sick. We should have more girls on the covers of magazines. Girls crush. She was super nice. Her signature is a cat. It's a little kitty. So sick. And then I think the last thing that we'll talk about today is this board that I got up here. This is the Skate Mental D3PO because he's wearing the D3s and signed by the Skate Mental team. We got Shane O'Neill. We got maybe Dan Plunkett. This was in 2012. I think that's Tim. I don't know. Maybe Gavin. Did he skate for them?
No.
So not him.
No.
I don't know.
I think it's Tim Don, maybe?
I don't know. Matt Beach, Life's a Beach. And then my, I don't know who this is.
John Moda.
John Mata?
Yeah.
Okay. And then my favorite signature of all the signatures that I have, Brad Staba, as a dick, his name income. Oh my god. Just hilarious. Best signature. Everyone should sign their name as a dick. It's amazing. I had an ID once where I signed my name as a dick on my driver's license, and they let me get away with it. And I've never been able to do it since, but for 5 years until they made me reissue it, my signature on my license was a dick. It was hilarious. I forgot a couple boards because I'm an idiot. Here's a Muska signed board, and Chris Pastra signed the back side of it, but it's up on the ceiling, so I can't really take it down. And then we got Buddy Nichols, he's like a filmer or something. I don't know a ton about Buddy Nichols, but he's rad. He's super sick. Everything that I learned about him was sick, and then I forgot it all. But he's totally dope. Buddy Nichols is rad. Okay, right here we got Kevin Kowalski signed, Blood Wizard team signed, and the other one was skated by Anakin Sen, which is Chris Sen's kid. But I went to the Blood Wizard demo, ran into Kevin Kowalski in the parking lot, and Kevin Kowalski talked to me for like 30 minutes. I guess his dad's a woodworker. We talked about woodworking. I had some of my woodworking there, and so he was super stoked on that. And then he was just so stoked and such a nice dude that he got the whole Blood Wizard team to sign that board. So Kevin Kowalski signed Kevin Kowalski board. Pretty sick. Thanks for joining me for another episode at the museum, at least at my house, the museum overflow. Go check out the museum in Boulder. It's at Square State Skate. Super sick. A lot of boards there. This has been the autograph episode. So get out there. Go skate. Go have some fun. Stop watching stuff.